Hi, friends. Welcome to Rhythm and Word, a ministry of Fourth Presbyterian Church in Chicago. I'm Reverend Tom R. I'm the interim pastor here at Fourth. We have amended our offerings a bit as we'll no longer consistently have music included in these devotional offerings. We hope that this briefer format will be meaningful and practical for you as we continue this together. In the next few offerings here, I want us to look at the teaching of Jesus called the Beatitudes. They're found in the 5th chapter of Matthew's Gospel. Listen to the text. When Jesus saw the crowds, he went up the mountain, and after he sat down, his disciples came to him and began to speak to them and taught them, saying, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will receive mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted for the sake of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great in heaven, for in the same way they persecuted the prophets who were before you." So this teaching happens when Jesus calls his disciples and he tells them the kingdom of heaven, the promised day of God, has drawn near. And then Jesus begins to teach them what that life is like, what the promised day of God, the kingdom of heaven, what it is like. He teaches them over what we call the Sermon on the Mount. It's Matthew 5, 6, and 7, and all of that begins with these Beatitudes. And the Beatitudes, they are surprising teachings. They surprise us by their content and their impact. But most surprising of all is the verb tenses of most of them. If you pay attention, Jesus says, I want to tell you what a blessed life is, blessed in the present tense. What is blessed now? In almost all the Beatitudes, the current state of blessing is dependent on some future day. Those who mourn are blessed now, not because they're comforted now, but because comfort will come someday. Those who hunger and thirst for righteousness are blessed now because fulfillment will come. The pure in heart are blessed today, not because God is evident and obvious, but because someday they will see God. Any therapist can tell us how our yesterdays impact the present. As William Faulkner once said, the past isn't dead, it isn't even past. We carry our yesterdays with us, but the wisdom of Jesus says that the present, particularly the present of blessing, can be influenced by our tomorrows, by God's future. So how does that work? I remember when I was about 7, my parents got pregnant with who we would soon discover was my younger brother Jim. I suppose they acted this way with all of their pregnancies, all of their children, but this was the first time I was old enough to notice. They started nesting, you know what I mean. It changed everything. They painted things, they bought new furniture, they prepared the room, and everything changed because they knew he was coming. That's sort of what Jesus is getting at. If we trust that God will be God, and we trust that God will be faithful to God's promises, that light will shine in the darkness, that life will come from death, that justice will roll down like waters, and that swords will be beaten into plowshares. If we trust that the future belongs to God, it changes how we live the present. It changes how we engage each day. And Jesus says that's what it is to be blessed, to let God's future break in to the present today. We'll talk about that some more next time. It's good to be with you.